Conversation. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Carol Adams with Carol Adams Creations, and I'm so glad that you're here. Today, I'm going to be working on this little angel, and I've already painted her white. I painted it with a coat of gesso because since it is raw wood, the gesso kind of acts as a primer so that the next coat goes on better. And then she has, hold on, I have to make sure, I do this every time. I have to make sure her thumbs are going up the correct way. And then she has her little hands that is holding a heart. And then I'm going to add her a faux bow out of fabric, and we're going to do that. So, I know it's kind of hard to see it white on white, but this is what I'm going to be painting today. So my husband cut this out with his laser. If you're interested in getting a set of this, the hearts and the hands and the wings, just let me know. So what I'm going to do is down here, I'm going to I'm going to paint a rose like right here. I'm going to paint another one here. And then another one up here, and then do some greenery all along here, going up here, and then her heart is going to be right just like that. So I got to keep that in mind. And then then my bow is going to be here. And if you've never used a friction pen, the great thing about these is you just use your heat gun. You just use your heat gun. Like, come on, don't fail me now. You just use your heat gun on them. And the marks just disappear, which is just amazing to me. You can kind of see it a little bit, but I think that's more of my marking into the paint than anything else. And sometimes it's like those birthday candles. If you don't get them completely blown out, they'll light back up. That's kind of the way this is. Since I'm making small flowers, I am using a number 4 round brush. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip it in my paint. Let me make sure you can see everything here. I'm going to just dip it in my paint. I'm going to dip it in a little bit of the white, just kind of on the side, just kind of grab it a little bit. I am going to make a C, just like that. I'm going to make another C where they connect, or not connect, but they, it looks like they're connecting. Making a C there. And then I'm just going to start here in the middle of this petal, basically. I'm going to press down a little bit. I'm sorry, this isn't as easy backwards. And I'm just going to go around. So you're just going to go, press a little and go around. Get me a little bit more paint. And you can make these as big or as small as you want. But it really makes quick and easy roses. And it looks like you're a master. You're Bob Ross. So I do my C, and then I do the other C going the opposite way. And then I start in the middle of the first C, press down a little bit, and then come up. And then I'm going to start at the top of that first one, of this one, down here at the bottom. I'm going to press and circle around. You're kind of overlapping them a little bit so that they look like the petals on a rose. And what you want to try to do is not to have, like, don't start another petal, like, right there. You want to scoot it over just a little bit so it doesn't look like it's kind of block. The heart. Yeah, I think so. And a trick I learned from a fellow crafter that works sometimes, and I'm going to be honest, sometimes it doesn't. If you're doing wood, wood pieces, if you will paint towards the edge and not paint the edge down, you won't get that little, you know, that little dip right there. But sometimes you just can't help it. Okay, I'm going to paint the sides. And I don't need to paint the back because I'm gluing this down and it won't show. Do this, and I'm going to add a little bit of this dark and see if I can't get a little bit more. I'm just going to go over some of my strokes here. I just want it to be a little darker. Oh, that's better. And they can touch if you want them to. They don't have to if you don't want them to. Add a little white there and add a little white over there. All right, so we are going to do our greenery now. And I'm just doing the same thing. I'm just going to use several shades. Several shades. Put that right there. Several shades of green. Come on. There we go. And I have kind of a medium green and a dark green. And then I'll still be using the white. Hoping that's, yeah. There we go. And I have a little bit, I think this might be a little lighter. I tried to get 3 different shades, but I think these two are pretty close. Whoops! I'm going to use the same brush because I want everything to look cohesive. So what I'm going to do is the same thing. I'm going to pick up a little bit of the green, a little bit of that white, and I'm just for the leaves, all I'm going to do is I'm going to start up at the top, press down, and then slowly lift up. So you're going to press down and slowly lift up. Some people do it the opposite way. They start at the end. I don't know what else to say about that. And then they lift up. So they get more of a point at the end. But sometimes when I do that, it doesn't quite work. So I'm just going to kind of fill this up with some greenery, just to kind of add in the places there. And I like them to be all different colors. And I really don't have any, I don't have a plan of where I'm putting them. I'm just putting them down. And you even do some over them, over the flowers. Do some here. Do another one, I think, here. Okay. I think that might be good. So, this is going to be so cute. What I do is I'm just going to take, this is an angle brush, and I'm going to dip my brush in water, which I have somewhere. Here it is. Kind of some clean water. And then I'm going to run my brush, kind of get most of the water out. I'm going to run my brush alongside that, just loading up one side of the brush. I'm going to start here. In case I don't like it, then I can wipe it off. And I'm just going to go along the edge. And it kind of gives it a feathery look, I guess you could say. Would be a good way to say that. Hold on, I know my finger's in the way, I'm sorry. Let me kind of go around here and then I'll... And because you have that water, if you make a mistake, you can kind of smooth that out. So you can see the difference between this side and this side just by adding that little bit. Just kind of gives it a little bit more of dimension. So I'm going to get this wet again, and I'm going to do the same thing of wetting the brush, taking most of the water out. I didn't take enough water out because it's not picking up the paint. And you want to be sure and use the same side every time. And this time I'm going to start here. I'm going to go around, and then I got to finish that on the other side. All right. So see, it just adds just a little bit, so it's just not so stark white. So the only other thing I need to do to her is I need to give her some cheeks, and I think I'm just going to use the same brush, and I'm just going to, this may not be quite dark enough, but I'm afraid to use something else. I'm afraid it'll be too dark. But let's see. See, that's a little too dark, but I can always wipe some of it off. And it's probably not good using an angle brush for that. Okay, I'm going to take a baby wipe and just kind of press on that and smooth it out a little bit. So she doesn't look like a crazy woman. Okay, I think that's pretty good. And then I just need to, I'm going to take some black paint, just a little bit of black paint. It already has indentions where the laser made the eyes, so you know where the eyes need to go. And I'm just going to take a paintbrush. I think this is the smallest one I have. Oh, I think this one is smaller. Okay, and I'm just going to use the end, and I'm just going to dot and put it in that hole. There we go. And I got, of course, one that's not completely round, and that's going to make me crazy. There we go. There we go. So now she's all done, and we are just going to put her together and finish her up. I'm going to get me another palette because I need it to have kind of a fresh edge, and I don't want to pick up any of the other paint. So once again, I'm going to wet my brush. It's probably going to still have a little pink. And I'm going to use this long end of the angle, not the short end. And I'm just going to run it through my paint, just like that. So you're picking up just some of the paint. And that may be a little much, but we shall see. I think I need some more water. You wipe that off and try it again. And the fun thing about this little angel is you could do this any way you wanted to. You could make it with sunflowers. You could make it for spring. You could make it for fall. I even thought of, you know, like a Statue of Liberty one. That would look really cute. Take that out because I want to move that just a little bit. So it doesn't add much, but it adds just a little bit. Okay. I still got to do her bow. So let me do her bow. And all I'm going to do is I'm taking this fabric that I have, and I'm going to, let's see, this is the salvage edge. I'm going to take my scissors, and I'm going to make a little slit, and then I'm going to tear it, maybe. I was trying not to waste too much fabric. There we go. Boy, this does not want to tear. And when you tear it, it's supposed to make the fabric straight. I don't know about this particular fabric. But I'm going to do another one a little thicker and actually use this piece. Okay? And I'm just going to do it in all the different colors and some white. Let me move her over. Whoops. Taking away all my stuff here. Okay, it can't be a very big bow. So I'm going to do it about, I don't know how, let's see. This is about, and I'm going to trim it up even more after this, after I get it done. But this is about 5 inches. So I'll measure all of them to about 5. And if you've never made a junk bow, it's really easy. You don't. I have some hot pink baker's twine. I'm sure I got it at Dollar Tree, but I'm not certain. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this down. Oh, I didn't need an astronomical amount of it. Okay. So I'm just going to start laying my pieces down, face down. And I'm just going to make an X, and I'm just going to alternate them. I kind of make an X and then a cross. I kind of make them go 3 ways. So this way, then that way, and then I put one in the middle. And you don't have to do it that way. You don't have to follow this pattern or anything else. It's just kind of the way that I have found that works for me. And now all I'm going to do is I'm going to tie this. Okay, let's do one more little knot there. Okay, I'm going to cut that off. Okay, so now we've made this cute little junk bow that's going to go just right here on our little angel. And I'll trim it all up so that it looks much better than that. Isn't that cute? I'm in love. I love the hot pink. I am a hot pink person. So she's all done. That's all done, and that is going to go right there, and I just love that. That just looks so good. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use that and see if I can get this baker's twine off. I don't know why it's all like this, but anyway. And then I'm going to put a button right there. I think what I'll do is I'm going to go through here and then kind of loop it around. Get this. I really have no idea what I'm doing at this moment, so bear with me. This is an experiment. Okay, so I'm going to put this up through here. I may need to glue this in there. Put that back up through there so I can get both pieces. Yay, I did. Okay. So I'm going to put that there. And then I think, let's see, I think I'll just know if it needs one up there. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. Now I gotta figure out how to attach that to the back. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna hot glue that. Let that dry. Is I'm gonna attach everything with E6000 as well as hot glue. So the E6000 will make sure that it stays nice and stuck, and then let me put that back in there, and then the hot glue will make it be instant. Oh, I need to trim that off before I hot glue it. Ah! Quickly, quickly, quickly. Let me get that off before that hot glue dries. Okay, hopefully we'll be good. We'll put that right there. Oh, that looks so cute. Okay. I'm going to put this here, and maybe I don't even need hands. That there. Give her a little button right there. And then I'm gonna do, let me do the E6000 first. If you're working with E6000 and you've not worked with it a lot, after you squeeze it, it kind of keeps oozing out. So if you'll get a cup and put it in the cup and let it stand upright, it really is helpful to do that. Just going to run a little bit of hot glue. I'm going to take her and I'm just going to set her down right there. I'm going to press. Okay. So that's on there. I'm going to add her hands here. Hands right there, and hand right there. And give her a little halo, of which I have some wire. But I'm just going to add a little halo up here. And she is all done. Isn't she springy? Okay, so I'm using this wire. It is 16 gauge. You want something that's pretty strong. I'm just going to take probably about, let's just say, I want to make sure I have enough. So I'm just going to do 10 inches. And like I said, this is 16 gauge wire. And I'm sure I bought it at Hobby Lobby. Now what I did is I actually took something brown. You can use, one of your paint bottles or spray bottles, whatever you have that's round. And I want to make this halo shape. And you want to make sure to give yourself enough tail, if you will, to be able to wrap it around. So what I'm going to do is then I'm just going to wrap this around several times. And then take you can either use like some pliers or those jewelry plier things to crimp this, but I'm just going to cut this off, maybe. There we go. And then I just brought this part down, and now we have this cute little halo. And then all I did was I attached it to the back with E6000 and a little bit of hot glue. And that's all it took. Another thing that you can do if you are wanting to hang this. I would suggest drilling holes in here, right there, and then running a wire across it, or maybe even just putting yourself a little hook right there so that you would be able to hang it up. So I just love this. If you're interested in a kit, please check out my website. They are listed there.